and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandy Grace. Today's video should be the one and only book haul of 2021. Now that probably won't end up being true because on one hand I have my birthday and Christmas in the last quarter of the year, so it'll probably be book hauls that have to do with those. But for the most part, I personally do not intend to be buying any more books in 2021 at all, because I have a giant physical TBR stack that I have had for like 2 or 3 years at this point, and this is the year that I have decided I'm getting rid of it. So I'm not buying more books. But I did do one last giant buy a bunch of books thing, so that's what this is. I have counted up my physical TBR stack, and that included the books that I just bought, and I have a plan for finishing them all. So far I've basically been able to stick with it, so hopefully I'd stick with it. But anyway, I bought a bunch of books. Some traditionally published, some self-published authors. It's a mix. I don't know. We're just gonna open it and add more books to my stack. This first package is already opened, as you can see. Funny story, sort of, with this one. So my sister opened it because she got packages in the mail and was just assuming that this package was one of them, and opened it. And then it has, I don't know how this happened, but it has the gift receipt from Amazon. So I guess when I purchased it, I didn't realize it was checked as a gift, so I sent myself a present, which is bizarre. I mean, it's basically what happened. I sent myself a present, but I didn't mean for it to say that I got a gift. Oh, it's so pretty! This is Keeper by Kim Chance. I've wanted to read her series because I see Keeper and Seeker all over Instagram, and so I wanted to read this. This is actually really prettier in person than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's a pretty cover. And I've seen the cover a lot on Instagram and YouTube, but like, this is actually really pretty. It's much prettier than I thought. I also, this is a little random and maybe has nothing to do with anything, but when I first saw The Keeper, with a "the" at the front, by Shannon Dow, the first thing I thought, even though it's a boy, the first thing I thought was that it looked very similar to Keeper, which I had been hearing a lot about for years. And maybe they're not really that similar, but like with the green and with the almost exact same title, it's, I don't know, this reminded me of this. The stories probably have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Kind of like My Return to Grace and the other Return to Grace that I read, which are two very different stories. These ones I feel might be slightly more similar because they both seem to have like magical vibes. Also, this is just so pretty. I can't explain it to you, but seeing this in person, it's gorgeous. When a 200-year-old witch attacks her 16-year-old bookworm Lainey? Oh, I should probably tell you, I'm terrible with names. I can't pronounce anything. Lainey Styles is determined to find a logical explanation. Even with the impossible staring her in the face, Lainey refuses to believe it, until she finds a photograph linking the witch to her dead mother. Oh my. After consulting a psychic, Lainey discovers that she, like her mother, is a keeper, a witch with the exclusive ability to unlock and wield the grimoire. Grimoire. Did I mention that I can't pronounce anything? A dangerous but powerful spellbook. But there's a problem. The unpronounceable spellbook has been stolen by a malevolent warlock who is desperate for a spell locked inside it. A spell that would allow him to siphon away the world's magic. With the help of her comic book loving best friend and an enigmatic but admittedly handsome street fighter, that was a sentence. Anyway, Lainey must leave her life of college prep and studying behind to prepare for the biggest test of all, stealing back the book. That actually sounds really interesting. Probably would sound more interesting to all of you if I wasn't the one trying to read the back cover, but it's fine. All of the books in this book haul are things that I've been seeing either on YouTube or on Instagram a lot, and I finally just gave in and bought a bunch of books. But you should be proud of me because I waited. I started this list in like October, November, but I didn't actually purchase them until January, so I think I did well. I'm just ripping it, that's what's happening. Nova's Quest for the Enchanted Chalice. When a comet lights up the night sky, an ordinary boy from a small town in Deccan begins to see that everything in his world is not as it seems. A secret that he didn't know about himself becomes exposed, and he finds himself running from the clutches of his enemies as he embarks on an adventure with his best friend to a mysterious land of magic called Happenstance. It is not long before he realizes that he has a bigger place in the world than he could have ever imagined. It is up to him to fulfill the first part of his quest. Oh, Nova's a boy. Is that who this is? Is this about Nova? I was picturing a girl. Not gonna lie. Okay. Up to him to fulfill the first part of his quest and challenge everything that he thought was good around him. But the path is not so easy to travel, and there are challenges, lies, and betrayal in its wake. Nova's quest for the enchanted chalice is a story of a world after magic has been banished and evil resides. A powerful regime that rules Deccan uses social media and a virus as invisible shackles to keep its citizens in their districts as ignorant hostages. But as Happenstance begins to vanish and magic is lost forever, it is up to its inhabitants to fight back, and they know that Nova is their only hope to save their world of magic. This seems to have, like, fantasy and dystopian vibes. This could be interesting. Oh no, I've got another gift receipt. Merry Christmas to me. Shadow Crown. Oh, it's bent. It's fine. Shadow Crown by Kristen Martin. Oh, I don't think I said. This is Nova's Quest for the Enchanted Chalice by M.J. Irving. There we go. Back to this one. For most people, the act of killing is intangible, unfathomable, but not for 17-year-old Arden Illyri. I can't do names, you guys. Having been involved in... Oh, good lord. There's too much going on here that I can't say. Having been involved in Cruex assassination attempts as a mere child, killing is a natural disposition for her. Growing up without parents in a castle ruled by an iron-fisted king is the farthest thing from a fairy tale, as is being forced into the Cruex. The crew? Maybe it's just crew. Maybe the EX is silent. I don't know. The king's group of hand-selected assassins. But with each passing year, she comes to enjoy the act of killing more and more. Oh, this is gonna go dark. Kill or be killed, she chooses the former. A decade ago, King Darius Diamond. See, some of these things probably don't sound hard to pronounce, but when you're terrible with names, everything is hard to pronounce. A decade ago, King Darius Diamond banished the Kadari. Those who practice... Oh, good lord. Those who practice old magic from Trindalath Kingdom, ensuring that no Kaldari will ever step foot in his kingdom again. But Arden discovers otherwise after a dual-assigned mission goes horribly awry. This one is hard to get through, guys. Even more startling, she discovers that she may have more in common with the Kaldari than she's been led to believe. Arden wants to trust that King Diamond's intentions are pure, but as their pasts collide in unexpected ways, the quicker she realizes the consequences and dangers of his reign. Some of these sentences don't make sense in my head, but Arden is also hiding something that threatens her very existence, and she'll have to face her inner darkness and conquer it before it destroys her and the kingdom she's come to call her home. Whew, that was difficult. When I'm reading in my head, I don't stumble over these words. My brain just decides what to call them, and it's fine. But reading out loud, I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. I think, so far, this seems really interesting. Like, it could be very dark and twisted. This surprised me because I thought it was about a girl, but I think it's about a dude named Nova, so that's fine. Also, this seems interesting, too, because it seems to be a mix of fantasy and dystopian. Like that last paragraph about there's no more magic and we're using social media and a virus to shackle people. Like, what? I don't know. Could be interesting. We're not done yet, though. I need scissors. Now, I have said that I'm not buying any more books other than this book haul for all of 2021. However, I already know there's going to be at least one exception to that rule, because Bethany Atazadeh is publishing the final book in the Stolen Kingdom series this year, and I am 100% buying it. I'm probably pre-ordering it, okay? It's gonna happen. But y'all can try and hold me to the no more buying books other than the Enchanted Crown later this year. Because I'm not buying more books. What do we got? Fable! This one I have been wanting to read. No idea what it's about, but I wanted to read it. Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. For 17-year-old Fable, the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home she has ever known. It's been 4 years since the night she watched her mother drown during an unforgiving storm. Oh, sweetheart. The next day her father abandoned her on a legendary island filled with thieves. Poor baby! And little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. Well, at least she's not out for revenge. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But her father's rivalries and the dangers of his trading enterprise have only multiplied since she last saw him, and Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. Fable takes you on a spectacular journey filled with romance, intrigue, and adventure. This sounds amazing. I can't wait to get started. Who else is in here? What do we got going on? Beaconfield. After living in the shadow of her parents for as long as she can remember, it's time for Marigold Wilder to make her own choices. See, no, I can't everyone have names like that. I can read that. When her grandfather passes away, Mary is adamant about attending his funeral, even with her parents dead set against it. She packs a bag and heads for Beaconfield, but the old maritime town isn't the summer home she remembers. A bizarre series of disturbing events unfold, reuniting Mary with her childhood crush Ridge, and forcing the two of them to unearth the town's haunting past. As they grow closer, Mary and Ridge unwittingly take on the responsibility of solving a decades-old mystery as they work together to decipher an ancient family tree. With time running out, they need to work fast before the funeral Mary came to Beaconfield to attend becomes her own. Fascinating. There's more. Okay, this one's the one I already know I can't pronounce correctly. I want to say Navaria? That's what I want to say. The Marked Heir. Orphan, outsider, freak. Labels and questions swirl in Darian's troubled mind. Why did his birth parents abandon him? Why are all these children abandoned? Why is he haunted by visions of mythical beasts, a captive, and her torturer? And why is his birthmark glowing? Discovering his true identity may cost Darian everything, as he is suddenly confronted with a war-ravaged realm and the answers he always sought. Rav? Camera died. Now I gotta put you back up. Okay, I don't know if that's even looking at the same spot, but here we are. I was gonna read the rest of the back. I don't know when it shut off. We're just gonna pick a paragraph. Rav Aryans, possibly, wreak havoc at the command of a sadistic usurper who led a grisly coup d'etat against the marked royals. Unicorn, centaur, nymph, and a man who joined forces... Wait, what? Unicorn, centaur, nymph, and man joined forces. That was confusing, because in my head they weren't plural. And then it was... Anyway. Join forces to face the oncoming threat of evil, yet the forces are slipping and hope seems lost. 3 generations interwoven throughout Navarian history... I'm confused. Will reach as far as rural Oregon to see the kingdom unified once more. What? I'm confused. Probably all my confusion will be answered when I read the book, but I'm confused. The only question is, will the return of the Marked Heir help or hinder in the fight for Navaria? But there's like a little apostrophe thing, and I don't know what to do with it. Navaria. Nave. Aria. I don't know. We're going to the next one. This is The Diseased One, the Hollis Time Wire Series, Book 1. On the morning of her 16th birthday, Hollis Time Wire receives the worst possible news. She can't become a citizen of the world. She's a diseased one. Oh, good. Born with a biomarker that bestows dangerous, brain-altering powers, Hollis is forced to hide underground with the other diseased ones, who believe that the government falsified history to cover up their genocide. Now Hollis must discover the truth and is willing to risk anything, including her powers, to go back home. Sounds interesting. These all sound interesting. They're going to go on my stack of, unread books up there to be read in no particular order. Probably there will be reading vlogs when I get to them. There you go. They're so pretty. I'm excited about all of these. I think I was confused by this one, but excited. This one's going to be dark, I think. This one's apparently about a dude. Did not realize that. This one looked interesting. This one I will not know how to pronounce anything. This one looks super interesting. This one has a gorgeous cover and also sounds interesting. This one I think is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Don't bark, Ada, at the crazy people in the tunnel.